It's raining in LA for the first time in a while. So if this video abruptly cuts out and I'm back inside for the first time, is because it just started pouring on me. Shout out to the Hypeland hoodie too, by the way, not sponsored, but I will gladly be sponsored if y'all need one. Anyway, let's get to the main point of this video. And I know you guys see the title. Y'all are all anxious probably to find out what is the biggest ignorance of the red pill community. Now, if you're super red pilled, if you're super into the fresh and fit type red pillars especially, you might find this information triggering, disheartening, angering, but just hear me out and keep an open mind, please. One of the dumbest things, the most ignorant things that the red pill community preaches is the fact that you should not take advice or listen to women when it comes to anything in the dating game. And when I heard that, when I hear the red pillers saying this type of stuff, I can't help but laugh, man. It's just so funny to me how people are really choosing to ignore good, wholesome, healthy advice from people because of their gender, because they're women. I think both genders have equal and equally valid viewpoints of the situation. You can't just ignore one whole side of the equation. This doesn't go for relationships, but this can go for anything. You can't just ignore one person's side of the argument, whether it comes to, you know, dealing with a relationship, with a family member, with a friendship. You can't just ignore the other person's perspective. You have to take into account their perspective, because one thing that I did learn, and this is one of the most important things that I can tell you, is that scientifically, just think about it scientifically, if you were that person and went through the same exact stuff they went through with the same exact upbringing, watching the same exact things, consuming the same exact type of stuff, you would feel exactly how they would feel. Scientifically, your brain would respond exactly the same. So if literally you were in this person's shoes, you would feel exactly how they would feel. So completely just saying their viewpoint is invalid is one of the dumbest things you can say. And there are so many good self-improvement, self-help, psychology channels ran by women in the self-improvement space that a lot of people that are part of the red pill are just completely ignoring because they're women. And that's one of the saddest things to me, because some of the channels that I truly value and have taught me the most are ran by women. And I'll link some of them in the description down below so you guys can check them out for yourself. But this is one of the worst traps you can fall into, is just completely ignoring it and just developing this sort of hatred and distrust towards women. It's completely disgusting, and I honestly can't help but laugh, because it's like you're becoming the very thing you're trying to avoid, right? You're watching all these red pill videos to try to figure out how to talk to women, how to understand them, you know, how to, you know, basically just interact with them. And you developing this bitter attitude, like looking at women a certain way, like they're not capable of doing, it's just making it worse. It's just exacerbating the problem. So really what these red pillars are doing, they're trying to teach you about female nature and all this stuff, but really they're making you more hateful, more envious towards women, so much so that you don't even got to listen to what they say. And it kind of defeats the whole purpose of what you're trying to accomplish, right? Let me just say this, though. At the end of the day, women are just people. They're normal people like you and me. You shouldn't feel scared or intimidated to talk to them, right? I don't know why some men in this red pill community think that, like, talking to other guys, oh, they have no problem, it's just like any other day. But women are so confusing and they want so much, and they, you know, they don't want this. And bro, it's really not like that. Every woman is different, just like every guy is different, like every person is different. And you just discounting people because of a gender or some made-up belief that you drilled into your head is one of the most ignorant things you can do. I recommend every single one of you that haven't, start watching a women's self-improvement, self-help YouTube channel. You can learn a lot from there, right? Now, you know, maybe some of them, you know, they're kind of redundant. Maybe you're hearing the same things that you hear from the channels that you're already watching, but try to find a women's self-improvement, self-help channel that you can learn a little bit from, because I promise you there are channels and women that you can learn from. Again, I'm gonna link a few in the description down below. Just some interesting channels that have really helped me understand psychology, self-help, mental health, things of that nature that I really advise you guys check out. Support the female content creators because you can learn a lot from them, and nobody's saying you have to worship them and only watch female content creators, but just mix them into your overall whatever content you're consuming, whatever books you're reading. Just mix it all in. Don't disregard somebody's opinion because they're a gender that you don't agree with or see eye to eye with, or whatever thoughts you put into your own head about this other gender. It's honestly one of the biggest ignorances of the red pill community, and the reason why I don't really associate myself with them, because they've been getting a bad rap in general, even though I don't think that, you know, all red pill YouTubers and just gurus are like fresh and fit, where they just completely bash on women and like invite them to the show just to shit on them. Like that's a whole nother video and a whole nother story I could talk about. But generally, I would suggest incorporating some of that because you can learn a lot from them. And I know a lot of people love the saying, "Oh, don't teach a fish how to fish. Learn from the fisherman." But hey, if a fish could talk, they would teach you a lot. Okay, if a fish could talk, they would teach you a lot. And women can talk, and they have a lot to tell you, and you can learn a lot from them. So don't be ignorant. Please be open-minded, and just realize that you can learn something from everybody, no matter where they're from, you know, their background, their gender, their sexuality. You can learn something from everybody. All right, keep that in mind. That's kind of the biggest takeaway I want y'all to have of this video. Thankfully, it did not rain, even though it did start to drizzle as I was filming. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Please check out some of the channels I linked in the description down below. I really guarantee it could change your outlook on something, change your perspective on something, especially if you're one of those people that are normally not so receptive, not so open to women, I guess, or women's advice. Please do yourself a favor and just try it out, check them out. You'll be glad you did. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of y'all selves. I love y'all, and I'm out. Bow.